नमस्ते सम्पूर्ण विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू। नयाँ सेसन सँगसँगै नयाँ जाँगर उत्साह उमङ्ग बोकेर स्कुल जानुहुन्थ्यो। तपाईहरु नयाँ साथीहरू बनाउनुहुन्थ्यो, शिक्षकहरूसँग नयाँ कुराहरू सिक्नुहुन्थ्यो। तर त्यो सबै कोभिड-19 को प्रभाव सँगसँगै घरमै सीमित रह्यो। यसैलाई मध्यनजर गर्दै निजी तथा आवासीय विद्यालय अर्गनाइजेसन प्याप्सन केन्द्रीय सचिवालयको निर्णयलाई आत्मसात गर्दै पालिका प्याप्सन, जिल्ला प्याप्सन र प्रदेशले समेत सहयोग गर्नुभएकोमा यहाँहरूलाई हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। त्यसैले विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई पढ्नबाट वञ्चित नहोस् भन्ने उद्देश्यले प्याप्सनले प्याप्सन दूरशिक्षा कार्यक्रम आयोजना गरेको हो र टिभी टुडे र प्याप्सनको संयुक्त प्रयासमा यो कार्यक्रम यहाँहरू माझ हामीले पस्केका छौं र आज टिभी टुडे को सेट अगाडि बस्नुभएका तमाम विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, अभिभावकज्यूहरू, स्कुलका शिक्षक शिक्षिकाहरू सम्पूर्णलाई अबको क्लासमा हार्दिक स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु।
Good afternoon, my dear students. How are you all? I hope everyone is fine over there. Well, we are in class of grade 4 science today, and we have already seen the topic over here, right? Oviparous and viviparous animals. Sounds new to you? If yes, we will obviously discuss it, but before jumping into the topic, let's go for the revision of our previous class. Is it okay? What did we learn in our previous class? Do you remember? Let's recall. I'll also help you to recall it. Is it okay? Now, recalling to our previous class, we had learned something about vertebrates and invertebrates. Am I correct? Yes. Alright. What are vertebrates? What are invertebrates? We discussed on those terms. We went through the discussion of examples. We went through characteristics of vertebrates and invertebrates. Isn't it? Yes, we did. Vertebrates, the animals with backbones. Invertebrates, the animals that lack backbone. Similarly, vertebrates divided into 5 classes. Invertebrates are divided into 9 phylums. And the bodies of vertebrates well developed, whereas the body of invertebrates less developed. Also, we went through where do they live, and we also discussed some of the animals they live in water, whereas some of them they live on land. And we also discussed whether some of the animals are oviparous, that is egg laying, and some of them they are viviparous, that is they directly give birth to their young ones. We discussed on those terms. We discussed on those points in last class. Yes, and we also went through the discussion of some of the terms like unicellular, multicellular, Paramecium, Amova, Euglena, and so on. Well, Paramecium, Amova, they were included as unicellular invertebrates. Unicellular, single cell, made up of single cell. Multicellular, made up of many cells. Yes? So, based on the discussion of those points, whether the animals are oviparous, that is egg laying, or whether the animals they directly give birth to their young ones, that is viviparous, we are going to further continue our today's topic, oviparous and viviparous animals. Well, we have read that one of the most important characteristics of living things is also reproduction. Living things reproduce. They give birth to their young ones. Isn't it? Yeah. Alright then. Do all the animals reproduce in the same way? No, they don't. They don't reproduce in the same way. Then, if reproduce is to give birth, then what is reproduction? Reproduction, it is the biological process by which living beings they produce their young ones of same kind. They produce the offsprings. Offsprings means babies of their own kind. What does own kind mean here? Own kind means of similar type. Are you getting me? Let me repeat it again. What is reproduction? Reproduction, it is the biological process by which living beings, they produce their offsprings of their own kind. That is, the babies are similar, they look similar to their mothers, or the one who produce the babies, they look alike, they look similar. Is it okay? Then, why is reproduction important? Why do animals reproduce? Animals, they reproduce to maintain the generation. And they also reproduce to continue their races on the earth. If the animals stop reproducing, then what happens? The existence, see the term here, existence, the existence of living beings on the earth would be impossible. We will not be here, we will not exist on the earth. If there is no reproduction, then we will not exist on the earth. Existence, what is existence? To exist, to live, to survive is existence. We are here. We are here, that is existence. We are existing here. We are living here, that is existence. So, first word, reproduction. It is the process by which living beings, they produce the babies of their own kind, they produce the offsprings of their own kind. Existence, if there is no reproduction, then the living beings on the earth, the existence of living beings on the earth would be impossible. Living beings would not exist on the earth. Alright, we discussed what is reproduction and why is reproduction important. Why do animals reproduce? Okay, now, yes, all living beings, all animals reproduce. But all the animals, they do not reproduce in the same way. Some of them, they reproduce by laying eggs, and some of them, they reproduce by giving birth directly. Now, at first, let's move on to the animals that reproduce by laying eggs. Okay? Okay, let's see. What can you see there? What picture can you see there? Can you see the picture of a hen with its egg? There is the picture of a hen and its eggs can also be seen, right? Then, similarly, let's move on to the second picture. What can you see there? There are so many eggs, and out of those many eggs, if you see one of the egg there, what you can see is a crocodile is trying to hatch out of its egg. It is trying to come out of its egg. Here, the third term, hatch. Can you see hatch? What does that mean? Is to come out of the egg. That is hatch, okay? Similarly, in the picture also, you can see a crocodile is trying to come out, is trying to hatch out from its egg. Alright, moving on to the third picture. You can see some golden eggs there. Can you? I can see it. Okay, then among those eggs also, from one of the egg of fish, it is trying to come out. It is trying to hatch out of the egg. In the picture, a fish is trying to come out. It is trying to hatch out from the egg. Alright, then again moving on to the next picture. Can you see the picture of a leaf there? And also some white, tiny objects are there, right? Are you able to see or not? Yes. What are they? Can you guess? They are also the eggs of a butterfly. Well, moving on to the next picture. we can also see a mosquito. That is the picture of a mosquito. And below it, there is something white material. Yes? What is it? It is also the egg of mosquito. And in this picture also, a mosquito, it has already somewhat hatched out of its egg. Then, finally, in the last picture, what can you see? I can see a snake. And there are some eggs also wrapped. Can you see the picture or not? Yes, a snake is there and its eggs are also there. By looking at these pictures, what we can conclude? We can say that the animals like hens, snakes, and the insects like butterflies, mosquitoes, they reproduce by laying eggs, because we just saw the picture of their eggs. We just saw the picture of them along with their eggs. Are you getting me or not? Hence, what we can conclude is these animals, they reproduce by laying eggs. And the animals that reproduce by laying eggs are called oviparous animals. What are they called? They are called oviparous animals. Once again, let me repeat the same thing. The animals that reproduce by laying eggs are called oviparous animals. Alright? Okay then, let's discuss on how do they lay eggs or where do they lay eggs. Let's discuss on the same thing. The insects like butterflies, silk moth, they lay eggs on the leaves. On the leaves, okay? Similarly, birds are also there. Birds, they lay eggs on their nest. Also, some of the animals like fishes, frogs, they are there, isn't it? Fishes, frogs, they are also oviparous animals. Then, where do they lay eggs? They lay eggs in water. Fishes and frogs, they lay eggs in water. Alright. The baby of frog, it is called tadpole, isn't it? From the egg of frog, a tadpole is hatched out. It is hatched out in the water itself. And we also know that the living beings, they take care of their babies. But there are also some animals that do not take care of their babies. Once they lay eggs, they leave them. They leave them to grow on their own. Do you know what are such animals that do not take care of their babies? We human beings, our mother take care of us. Whenever we are grown, whenever we take birth, then our mother, she takes care of us. She has taken care of us, isn't it? And if some new member is added in our family also, we take care of them a lot. Whenever they try to move around, we also move around with them. Why? Because we are afraid whether if he or she falls down, then they may get injured, and that hurts us as well, isn't it? But the animals like insects, fishes, frogs, snakes, these are some animals that do not take care of their babies. They let their babies to grow on their own. But what we do until the babies become independent, we go on taking care of them. We go on walking around them. We take care of them a lot. But as I told, insects, fish, frogs, snakes, they do not take care of their babies. Alright? Well, we discussed on the animals that reproduce by laying eggs, and we discussed those animals are called oviparous animals. Now, let's move on to the next one. What was it? Do you remember? The animals, they reproduce in different ways. First one, by laying eggs, we already discussed, and second one, they reproduce by giving birth. They give birth to the young ones directly. They do not lay eggs. Then, what are those animals called? Can you guess? The topic itself, oviparous and viviparous animals, is there. If we have already discussed oviparous animals, then the next one obviously will be viviparous animals. Yes? Okay, the animals that directly give birth to their young ones are called viviparous animals. Now, again, let's move on to the pictures, okay? Alright, what can you see in the picture? Can you identify the animal? A dog is shown. And is the dog alone? No, it's not. It is with its babies. The baby of dog, puppies, right? Yes, a dog is with its puppies. The puppies, they are sitting very close to the dog. Similarly, in second picture, what we can see? A cow is there. And the baby of a cow, it is sucking the milk. It is taking the milk. It is trying to suck the milk from the mother cow. Yes, similarly, moving into the next picture, a whale and its baby is shown. Both of them, they are inside the water. In the picture, whale and its baby both are inside the water. Then, moving on to the next picture, a bat, it is shown there and it is carrying its baby. It is flying in the air by carrying its baby. Also, in the last picture, a picture of a small child along with her mother is there. She is catching the baby in her arms. By looking at these pictures only, what can we say? What can we conclude? The animals like dogs, cows, whales, bats and even human beings, we take care of our babies. When they are small, we take care of our babies a lot. Yes? Then, okay, now from this, what can we say? What are viviparous animals? The animals that directly give birth to their young ones without laying eggs are called viviparous animals. And the example includes, as I have already shown also, the example may be dog, cow, human beings, whales, dolphins, anything, okay? Those are the examples of viviparous animals. As I have talked before, the animals like insects, frogs, snakes, they do not take care of their babies. But what do you think? Viviparous animals, do they take care of their babies or not? Yes, obviously they do. Viviparous animals, they take care of their babies. They nourish their babies. Nourish, what do you mean by nourish? To provide them with sufficient food to take care of them in proper way, okay? They nourish their babies in proper way. Also, in viviparous animals, the females give birth and she feeds the babies. Like, they have mammary glands, okay? Mammary glands. Note down the word, okay? They have mammary glands on their bodies. What do you mean by mammary glands then? The glands that help to produce milk. The glands that help to produce milk are called mammary glands, and in viviparous animals, mammary glands is present. Like when we were small child, did we do breastfeeding or not? Our mother, she did, yes. We used to suckle the milk of our mother. We used to suck the milk of our mother. In the similar way, as I had shown in picture also, before a calf, the baby of a cow, it was sucking the milk of its mother. Yes or no? And similarly, when a dog gives birth to its puppies, and whenever you go to catch those puppies, does that dog try to bite you or not? Does that dog bark at you or not? Yes, it does. Why? Because it's afraid whether you are going to take their babies apart from them or not. So, we can also say viviparous animals, they take care of their babies, and they also protect their babies from enemies. If any other tries to catch their babies, then they bark or they become angry at us, they try to bite us. What does that mean? They are protecting their babies from us. Alright? Then we discussed here mammary glands also. We discussed next word, that is mammary glands. These are milk producing glands. The function of mammary glands is to produce milk. Okay? Alright, now let's move on to short revision. We have already discussed on oviparous and viviparous animals, and we have already known some of the characteristics of oviparous and viviparous animals also. How do they take care of their babies, or why don't they take care of their babies also, we have already learnt. Now let's go for a short review, okay? Oviparous animals, they reproduce by laying eggs. And the example includes most of the insects and birds, they give birth by laying eggs, and except that, frog, snakes, lizards also, they reproduce by laying eggs. And also some of the animals like insects, snakes, frogs, they do not take care of their babies also, we learnt, because they also want their babies to grow on their own. Okay, but viviparous animals, the animals that give birth to their babies directly, are called viviparous animals. And next point is they have mammary glands to feed their young ones, to suckle their young ones. But in oviparous animals, they don't have mammary glands. Alright, then can you go for the differentiation of oviparous and viviparous animals now? Can you do it or not? First point, you can go for the definition. They lay eggs, they do not lay eggs, that is they give birth to the young ones directly. Second one, viviparous animals, they have mammary glands, whereas oviparous animals, they do not have mammary glands. And in the next one, you can go for writing the examples also. And we also discussed oviparous animals, they lay eggs. Some of them, they lay eggs and lives in water. Yes. And viviparous animals, they just give birth directly. Alright, now as today's assignment, you are going to get assignment for today, and that assignment is you need to write the differences between oviparous and viviparous animals along with their examples. And the next one, you are going to name the animals that do not take care of their babies, or you may also write the animals that take care of their babies and also the animals that do not take care of their babies. Is it okay to everyone? Well, I hope everyone you got the lesson today, and expecting your presence in other classes as well, I am going to end today's class. Thank you everyone.